April is here, so we have a list of promotional codes to get into Raid that I want to share with you guys, as well as some codes for existing or returning players you could use to get some extra stuff for your account. My name is Mr. Deity, and we're going to go in today, talk about each of the different characters and the different types of codes. So starting off, there are codes for new players only. You have to activate these within the first 72 hours of making your account. Then there are codes that don't matter when you activate them, but you'll get rewards whether you're a 6-month-old player, year-old player, maybe even playing 2 weeks. These are codes that you can enter and at least get a little bit of extra stuff to progress your account. So let's start with the new player codes. We're going to go in, and first off, the code I think everyone should use while it's still available is going to be Supreme 6. Click the link in the description right now to get the Void Legendary Champion Supreme Gallic right away by entering promo code Supreme 6, as well as 4 other additional epic champions as you progress. What you need to do, you need to log out of Player and Play on your PC and uninstall. Then click the link down in the description, reinstall using a new email. From there, complete the tutorial, then go to your mailbox. That's where you're going to receive your Supreme Gallic, as well as Tagoar, Ugo, Rector Drath, and Fane as you progress your account. Don't miss your chance to get an amazing start in Raid, and click my link right now. Well, let's go over Supreme Gallic first. Passive ability. When this champion receives a list of debuffs, instantly removes it, then fully heals the champion and gives him an extra turn. Absolutely amazing for a ton of different content within this game. It's on a 4-turn cooldown, but getting a full heal and getting a turn after it resets the turn cooldown immediately to 3 turns, which is super good, very strong in a lot of dungeons. Next up, we're going to have a skill 3. Attacks all enemies, has a 10% chance of inflicting a critical hit, additional 10%. So you only have to build with 90 crit rate. Has a 75% chance of placing HP burn and block buffs. AoE block buffs is super strong all the way through the game. And whether you're a new player or old player, that is insanely powerful for you. Now, the HP burn. This is amazing applying to all enemies. That is going to be for Spider. When there's 10 spiders on the board, you HP burn all of them. It is going to nuke the boss if the opponent takes any turn. Super strong. Then place a decreased speed debuff on targets whose turn meter is higher than 50%. In decreased speed, AoE is very rare as well. That just makes it to where your characters are going to take more actions before your opponent can. All of these insanely strong debuffs at 100% whenever he is fully skilled up. Okay, very strong. Next, the skill 2 attacks 4 times at random. That could be good for Fire Knight as well as any other content. Places a 50% increased attack buff on the champion for 3 turns before attacking, so he's going to hit harder. Each hit has an extra 10% chance of inflicting crits, again 90% crit rate. Each hit also has a 75% chance of instantly activating any HP burn debuffs on each target, so you could proc 4 different HP burns right when he uses a skill. Each target, and decreasing duration of those HP burn debuffs by 1 turn. Overall, insane skill 2 ability, as well as fills this champion's turn meter by 30% if 3 or more HP burn debuffs are activated in this attack, so he's able to just cycle turns like crazy. Very strong. And he is void. That's one of the things, is with being a void character, you can bring him in any of the different affinity stages and he will not have weakness to any of them. He will be able to land his attacks and not take bonus damage on any stage. Lastly, skill 1 attacks 1 enemy 2 times, also good for Fire Knight. Each hit has an additional 10% chance of critting, and then each hit also has a 40% chance of increasing the duration of any HP burn debuffs on the target by 1 turn. Whole HP burn kit, super good for progression, and he has an aura of ally attack and battles by 33%. Not the best actually, but not bad. I thought it was accuracy. It is attack, but depending on what kind of dungeon you're going into, this could help you clear it faster, and that's a good thing. Next up, we're going to have Alice. You can use the promo code GetAlice to attain this character. It was the Alice in Wonderland event that just ended, but if you're a new player and maybe you feel sad you missed out on the event, you could choose to start with her. Again, you can only use one of these 4 promo codes, and you have to use it at the very beginning of your account, the first 72 hours. Alice, everyone's going to tell you she's insanely strong that got her during this event because they were able to get a 5-star perfect soul. Getting a 5-star perfect soul, you're able to get the ability over here, the blessing of Brimstone. Brimstone puts smite on the enemy, which will deal HP based damage of whatever enemy you're fighting. So if you're fighting Demon Lord, that smite hit is going to hit for a ton of damage. She's very good for every type of content once you get Brimstone on her, but as a new player, you will not have that option. So keep that in mind. Now, her skills. Very strong in either way. Passive effect. Whenever this champion attacks, inflicts 3% more damage to each target for each turn remaining on their skill 3's cooldown. This bonus damage is counted individually for each target, so it's not an AoE attack, meaning that different things that are affected by AoEs, say some mitigation from Perfect Veil, will not fully affect, and she will do more damage. And then resets this cooldown of one of the champion's skills each time they kill an enemy. So she can be a farming character. You can farm with her and keep resetting your skill cooldowns, keep launching big skills. Can be very strong. I'm not not saying she's a bad character in any way with what I was saying with the Brimstone thing earlier. I'm just saying you will not see the same success as they are out of her, but she's still insanely strong. If you put Brimstone, that ability, on any character, they are very, very good. Attacks on enemy will ignore 20% of the target's defense. That's great. Ignoring defense is super good on damage shows. If the initial target is killed, also attacks the enemy with the lowest HP, will also ignore its defense. So she can kill 2 characters right out of the gate with this, which allows her to actually be decent for farming. And as she kills characters, it's going to be proccing the passive. So you're going to be back into that skill right away. Next up, attacks all enemies on the skill 2. 75% chance of increasing cooldowns of enemies, meaning that she could be decently good in PvP. If she can go before your opponent, reset their skill cooldowns, they're going to be using their skill 1s only. That can be very strong. Also has a 75% chance of decreasing each target's turn meter by 15%. At least one of the target skills has its cooldown increased or decreased to max, decreases the turn meter by 30% instead. So if there's nothing to reset, it'll push the character back, which is great. So if you pair her with another turn reset character, you could end up just controlling the board completely and never letting your opponent get a turn. Now the skill 1 attacks one enemy 2 times. Place an extra hit if the target has any active skills on cooldown. Each hit has an 80% chance of decreasing the duration and random buff on the target by 1 turn. Okay, so decreasing duration of a random buff can be good. It's like a strip, but it's only 1 buff. It is what it is. Can be good, can be but she's overall a very, very good character. She hits like a truck. She hits super, super hard. Plus, she's a girl character. I mean, starting with a girl character, a lot of people will be interested in that. Okay, that is my number 2 pick. She can be very good. Next up, we have Sun Wukong. To get Sun Wukong, you need to enter the promo code Monkey King. This character has been a promotional code character for a very long time. Insanely strong in PvP. Couple PvE stages he could be used in. One example is pairing him with Lady Annabelle for a stage where the enemy will kill you, your Wukong dies, Wukong revives, and Lady Annabelle fully heals herself. So with that, basically you become unkillable and you'll be able to beat the boss from there. There's some cool combinations you can do with him with his reviving mechanic, but he is insanely annoying to fight in PvP. Top players use him over a lot of the mythicals because of just the overall utility of him. So let's go ahead into his skill kit real quick and then move to the final character. What I was saying with the revive. If Wukong dies after 3 turns of yours or your opponent's, Wukong will revive with 100% turn meter. And this character can hit like a truck. And you could also build him with some accuracy, because with accuracy on the skill 3, attacks all enemies for attacking steals all buffs from all enemies and places block debuffs on them for 2 turns. Having accuracy, stealing all of the buffs from your opponent and putting block debuffs on them, very, very good. I would say some of the scariest Wukongs I fight are the high accuracy Wukongs. It's just it's just scary knowing that you could lose all your buffs and then this guy becomes basically unkillable at that point. If he steals an unkillable buff, if he steals counterattack buff, every time you hit him, he's going to bop you. And if you do end up killing him, he's gonna come back if you don't kill the rest of your opponent's board. That's very strong. Now the skill 2 is insanely strong, especially with accuracy. Attacks one enemy will ignore 50% of target's defense. That hits really hard. Will attack all remaining enemies with any surplus damage if the target is killed, so you can hit everybody else for a ton. This attack will also ignore 50% of the target's defense. This attack cannot be a critical. Okay, so you don't have to build crit for this attack. So if your whole idea is build him accuracy, you can build him as just high attack as possible, low bulk, and high accuracy. Okay, that is huge. If the initial target survives, places a sheep. So whenever you get sheeped, you basically lose a turn. When you get unsheeped, at the end of the turn, you are at half your HP bar. Whether you went in with 20% or 80%, when you got sheeped, you will always have 50% HP at the end of that. So you lose a turn and you're going to be at half health. So that's very strong. The higher accuracy there can be really good. Or you can build this character full damage. But either way, he is a PvP champion. That is where he shines in. He has a speed aura of 28% for PvP, which is really good. Allows you to put him up front and all your characters are going to get 28% speed bonus going into the fight. That right there alone makes him very, very strong, especially for new players. Allows you to climb arena quicker. And lastly, skill 1 attacks on enemy, 25% chance to stun. Chance increase to 50% if the target has any buffs. So you have a 50% chance to stun on the skill 1, which also takes accuracy. So multiple ways to build Wukong. You either go full damage, which is the ideal way to do it if you're a new player. But later down the road, I definitely think the accuracy Wukong can be unbelievably annoying to fight. The last character would be the last choice of mine. He's very strong, very annoying, but he's not very fun. Loki the Deceiver. Loki came with the Asgard event that happened 6 months ago or so. The code to get Loki, by the way, is get Loki. All right, if this is the character you want to get Loki is all you have to enter to get him. He has a passive. Place a perfect veil on this champion for 2 turns, start of each round. Also place a perfect veil on this champion for 1 turn whenever the HP drops below 50%. Perfect veil is going to give you more survivability and you can't be targeted, except like from single target attack. Has a 50% chance to evade an enemy skill and all of the accompanying effects. Okay, so you can evade with a 50% chance. You just can't be hit. Okay, okay, evade makes it to where you could be, somebody could use a skill that's going to do 400,000 damage to you. It'll do nothing. He is very annoying to kill. If this champion's HP is below 15% when targeted by enemy skill, has a 100% chance to evade. That skill and all accompanying effects is guaranteed evade, then goes on cooldown. So he gets one guaranteed evade, then it goes on cooldown, but he always has the evade chance to 30% if he's under a veil. He's super annoying to kill. Anybody who's fought him, it just makes every fight take longer than it should because he's just evading. He's just sitting there doing nothing. He'll be stunned and still evading somehow. He'll be asleep and evade an attack. It doesn't make any sense. He's annoying, but he's very strong. That makes it to where he's a pain to kill. Next up, skill 3, 75% chance of stealing all buffs from target and 100% of their turn meter. Okay, this is really good. This is insanely strong in PvP. If the target's turn meter was not stolen, fills the turn meter of all allies by 15% instead. So if you try to reduce a character's turn meter, they have more resistance than you have accuracy, and you miss it, you're just going to boost your team instead. So that's great. This effect cannot be resisted if the champion's under veil or perfect veil. So it can't be resisted. You can ignore their resistance. But if you aren't under perfect veil, say you got hit out of it and you try to use it, you can still get a combat readiness push, and then it places increased attack buff on all your allies for a turn. Very good as well. Now, the skill 2. A little bit confusing. I didn't know everything about the skill 2. They're long abilities. So here we go. You select a target. The target is an enemy 70% chance of placing block active buffs or block active skills and block buffs. So if this lands, they cannot use anything but their skill 1 for 2 turns, and they can't get buffed after that. If the champion uses skill is under veil or perfect veil, also applies debuff spread. Okay, so you have the ability to place that, and then any debuffs on that target will spread out to all of the other enemies on their board. It will go through a resistance check, but it will debuff spread, and you could end up putting all these block active skills on everyone except for, no, you just put it on everyone. Never mind. You can put it on everybody except for the characters that resist you. So you can make it to where the entire enemy team can only use their skill 1s, which is super annoying when this happens to you, but it's very strong. It's a very strong PvP character. Also applies debuff spread effect, taking 2 random buffs. Sorry, not all debuffs. It's 2 random buffs. 2 random debuffs. If the target is an ally or this champion, heals them by 50%. This is one thing I didn't know about Loki. You can use him to heal. I was using him for a while. I had a new account I was playing through, and I just always thought I had to target enemies, or I didn't know I knew you could self-target, but I didn't know it healed. I just thought he gave perfect veil, so I never really did it. And it also applies a buff spread. So instead of debuff spread on the opponents, it'll apply a buff spread, taking only 1 random buff and placing it on all allies, which isn't bad. So, but the fact that he can heal, it's actually a really good heal too for a single target heal. Pretty cool. He has a lot of versatility, and he can be good for a new player. There's a couple of the keeps that he can just steal the turn meter of the enemy in different keeps. He can be good in Fire Knight. He can steal Fire Knight's turn meter. Use him as Spider, steal the Spider's turn meter, as well as apply debuff spread to everything. He's okay. Okay, he can be used for PvE, but primarily PvP character, just like Wukong. Lastly, the skill 1 attacks all enemies, has a 30% chance of increasing duration of all enemy debuffs by 1 turn. That's pretty good. So say at the beginning of the game, you're throwing poisons down, you're doing whatever, you can spread it out to everybody else between his other skills, and then increase the duration of it all as he's skill 1 attacking. So the goal is to build Loki high bulk, high accuracy, as well as high speed. The higher speed you go, the more turns he gets, the more oppressive he can be. If his champion's under veil or perfect veil, the chance increases to 50. So you have a 50-50. If you skill up him, you'll have a 50% chance or 100% chance, I think. No, it doesn't double it. I guess it goes to 70. But either way, it's pretty good. He's a fun character, but he is the last one I would suggest starting the game with, even though he has his perks. Okay, one last thing with him. Accuracy lead means you can give this to the rest of your team. At the beginning of the game, you're not going to have very good stats. This will allow you to put him up front and be able to land your debuffs on some of the bosses that you will not have the gear in order to do so. That's what these aura leads are, kind of cheat codes to get into higher portions of the game. Okay, so those are 4 characters. Those are the different ones I would go with and my opinion of each of them. Now, the last couple promo codes for this, maybe I should have given this out earlier in the video. I did not expect to go over each character for that long. Let's go into the promo code portion. The first code is going to be Game Leap. This is going to give you some energy, a little bit of boost stuff. None of these codes give you anything crazy, but every little bit helps in raid. Then you have the promo code PP500, gives you more energy, some silver, some player points to get you to your free character that you can get through player points right away. So PP500. Next up, this promo code is going to be Yearly Gift. This one gives you bruise, energy, chicken, multi-battles, and some extra silver. And lastly, we have the 1M gift code. So 1M gift. That is going to give you 2 rare skill tomes, 3 chickens, and also some silver. That is all I have for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you would choose a different character versus what I was saying in terms of the promo code characters. Maybe sell one of them. If there's something you think is really good, sell your idea on it. Say this could be used for this, and maybe someone will take that and run with it. That could be fun for them. So that's all I have for this video. Thanks for watching. I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.